Hey everyone, I thought I would do a quick initial review of this 2023 Bronco. Okay, this is a rental that I have, and just thought I'd give you guys my initial impressions. My regular truck has got basically someone hit in the parking lot. It's got a mild fender bender. Nothing major, but that's in the shop getting repaired. So anyway, I've got this Bronco rented out, and I thought I'd give you guys my initial opinion. Initial opinion is if you are an average sized man of about 5'10", I don't know, some 230 pounds, it's small, man. I have a hard time comfortably driving this piece of shit. Okay, so when you sit here in the seat, basically this is as far back as the seat goes, right? So that's as far back as it goes. And in this position, it's like when I'm driving, like I can't like fully extend my leg here. Okay. And what's happening is in this position, it's almost a struggle. I'm trying to get my foot here. It's almost a struggle to go from brake to gas, to go back and forth. You almost want to lift your foot off of the ground and the reason for that is because my leg is forced into this bend position here, right? Because this one here, I can't fully extend it, but this one over here, because it has to be a little bit further back because of the pedals, right? So my knee's bent, and what that does is it's like I can't just easily pivot left and right because of the bend in my knee. So what I end up doing is braking very hard a lot of times because I have to almost really lift up my foot in order to turn it over to the other side, right? So I got really like I can kind of keep my heel on the ground, but I got really crank up, on this muscle over here. I think it's called the anterior tibialis, on that muscle to lift my foot up and get it over to the brake, and the result ends up being that I come down pretty hard on the brake. So this is a small Jeep-like car or SUV type of car. I do not like it. Okay, unless you're a very short person, like or shorter than 5'5" and skinny, do not buy this car. This is a small freaking car, man. Now, a couple of other things I have noticed. Again, it wouldn't be an issue if you're a really short person, but the way they've got this mirror, they got this garbage up here, right? This plastic shit up here, which forces the mirror to come down a little bit further. So in my normal, like right now I have this camera at my eye position, right? So when you look over to this side, this mirror is really in my way, okay? There's stuff I would like to see in this area here that I can't see. This mirror should be higher up. So I have better visibility in this area right over here. And then plus, normally when I drive, I have a radar detector someplace over here, so that might even cut down even more on my visibility. Okay, so this plastic garbage up here, that's forcing this mirror to come further down, and it takes away from my visibility in the middle of the windshield. Okay, so that's the next driving complaint I have over this thing. Now, next complaint that I have on this car is this. Where are you? This A button, that piece of shit button right there. Okay, so this basically turns off the car every time you're at a stoplight. Now you're able to disable it, but then when you turn off, right? If you turn off the car, right? So even though I have it disabled, and then you start this thing back up, okay, right? So I got it started up. Well, you gotta be in park. So you're there. If you take your foot off the gas, it'll turn it off. It may not turn it off because I really haven't picked up any speed. But this is really annoying when this thing turns off at the stoplights. This A thing over here that they put in a lot of these new cars, and it would be fine if you could just permanently disable it. I wouldn't complain about it, but there's no way I have found to permanently disable this A button, which is a piece of garbage, new technology. Okay, now as far as the shifter, they got this round thing over here, which I can kind of get used to. the tendency for me is, and I don't know if this is going to hurt the car, but tendency is to just like flip this thing, drive, park. If I was driving this car, what I think I would end up doing is at stoplights, just to prevent this engine from getting turned off. Right, if I'm in drive, I would just basically just flip it over to park, and you could do it with one finger. So that's what I would end up doing. I've started doing that even with this rental. When I get to a park, I just flip this over to park. For one thing, it's tiring to keep my foot on the brake because I'm so cramped over here. So it's a lot easier to just flip this over into park. Okay. So I don't know if this is gonna flipping this thing back and forth like that with your fingers is gonna hurt this thing in the long run, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, that's gonna be a tendency for people to do. Just flip this piece of shit back and forth like that. The engine just shut off on me and started up. So again, see, I want to drive. Why did this piece of shit, right? So it's off. No, it didn't turn off. Anyway, this auto on, auto off is annoying as hell. But that's one of the things I think you're going to end up doing. Now, this isn't all-wheel drive. It's got this other thing over here that switches. If you look over there, you got your normal driving, economy, sport, slippery, sand. To me, this is all bullshit. I never use any of that shit. So that's just BS electronics. So anyway, that's there, not something I use. Now, the other thing that's like super annoying about this car is the keys that they give you, right? You see this freaking anchor? I hate this. I want regular car keys like they had back in the 70s, right? The way GM used to give you like 2 keys, one for your door, one for your ignition. That's what I want. I hate electronics. They do this shit to try and keep, it's supposed to be like a security measure where nobody can start the car without this shit being in. Well, the way this ends up working is I leave this heavy garbage here, okay? So I do not take that garbage, right, that anchor out of the car. I just leave it there, and I leave the car unlocked, and I do not give that much of a shit if it gets stolen. I do this even with my regular truck that I drive because they have something similar, although it's not that big and bulky. And my thing is that, you know what, if you're going to give me a big bulky key like that, I'm just going to leave it in the car. And if it gets stolen, you take up, that's for the insurance company to deal with. And yeah, maybe my insurance will go up a bit, but you know what? The damage that they're going to get is going to be a lot worse. So I'm willing to pay that extra premium in the insurance for the luxury and the comfort of not having to carry these goddamn anchors around with me, right? That stays there. I don't care if the car gets stolen, okay? So I hate technology. I hate, especially in cars. I hate electronics in cars. Ideally, I would have roll down windows in this thing. I hate all this shit that they put in there. So anyway, that's my feeling. Now, one of the things that I did end up using is as much as I hate technology, I am using the cruise control when I'm on the highway, and part of the reason is because I'm so cramped here. It's so uncomfortable to keep my foot in this position that I use because that's why I end up using the cruise control, so I don't have to keep my foot in this uncomfortable position because I'm so cramped here. Now you might say I said I hate technology, but I'm using cruise control. Well, cruise control is like 1970s technology, and it doesn't have to be electronic. It can be manual. They had cruise control back in the 70s. Okay, so that's my initial thoughts on the 2023 Ford Bronco. It's small, it's cramped for the average size man. Okay, this A shit that turns the engine off when you're at a stoplight is super annoying. Okay, the mirror is too low over here. It's in your view basically. If you're an average height person, it's going to be right in your line of view over here. You get such a small, such a small space here to actually look through in this area. And the keys are like ridiculous, man. These keys are ridiculously heavy. They're just going to stay in the car. I'm never going to take them out of the car. So, hope you enjoyed this rant. I'll talk to you all soon.